You want to know the most satisfying feeling in this world? It's when someone you walked away from you, someone who underestimated you, someone who took you for granted, finally realize what they lost. And here is the beautiful part. You didn't have to say a single word. You didn't have to beg. You didn't have to prove anything. You didn't have to convince them of your worth. You just become so undeniably powerful that your absence speak louder than your presence ever could. And that's what we are exactly talking about today. Hey guys, my name is Swati and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are diving into something that's going to completely shift how you move after someone exits your life. We are talking about how to make people regret of losing you without even mentioning their names, without posting subliminal messages, without doing any of that desperate stuff that screams, I'm still thinking about you guys. So let's get right into it. Here is something most people get completely wrong. They think the way to make someone regret losing them is to show them what they are missing. So they post the perfect pictures, they talk about how happy they are, they make sure their ex or their former friends sees every single win. And you know what that actually does? It proves you are still performing for them. It proves they still have power over you. It proves you still care what they think. Because here is the truth. When you are trying to make someone regret losing you, you have already lost. The moment you are doing anything for their reaction, for their attention, for their regret, you are still giving them control over your life. You are still leading them, letting them occupy space in your head, in your energy, in your decisions. And that's exactly what we are not going to do. Real regret, the kind that actually eats at people, the kind that keeps them up all at night, that doesn't come from you showing off. It comes from you disappearing. It comes from you moving on so completely, so genuinely, so authentically that they realize you are not even thinking about them anymore. And that's what destroys people. Not your success, not your glow up, the fact that you stopped caring. So, what will happen when someone loses you and you handle it the right way? At first, they feel relieved. They feel free. They tell themselves they made the right choice. They convince themselves they are better off. They might even talk about you, justify why they left, explain to everyone why it had to end. And in that moment, you might feel like you want to defend yourself. You want to prove them wrong. You want to show them they messed up. And that exactly time, don't. Don't give them that. Because that is where most people messed up. They react, they respond, they make it obvious that they are hurt, that they care, that they are affected. But you are going to do something different. You are going to be silent. Not the pity kind of silent where you are clearly upset. Not like that. The powerful kind of silent where you genuinely just move on with your life. You are not blocking them out of anger. You are not posting cryptic quotes You are trying to make them jealous. You are not going to do that. You are just living. You are focusing on yourself. You are building your life. You are becoming better. And you are doing it for you. For you, not for them to see. Here is what happens next. After the reliefs wear off, after they had time to sit with their decisions, something starts to shift. They start noticing your absence. Not because you are making noise, but because you are not. They checked your social media and you are not posting about them, not even indirectly. They ask mutual friends about you, and those friends have nothing dramatic to report. You are just good. You are just thriving. You are just unbothered. And that's when the regret start creeping in. Because here is what people don't realize until it's too late. They don't miss the versions of you that was trying to hold on. They don't miss the version of you that was fighting for them. They miss the version of you that completely moved on. They miss you when they realize you are no longer an option. When they realize you are no longer available, when they realize you have closed that door and you are not opening it back up. Let me give you the real strategy here. The exact step that makes someone regret losing you without you ever having to say a word. First, you disappear completely. And I didn't mean physically blocking them or making a scene. I mean emotionally. You detach. You stop checking if they viewed your story. You stop wondering why they are doing. You stop hoping that they will reach out. You genuinely let go of them. Not because you are trying to play a game, but because you actually respect yourself enough to walk away from anyone who doesn't see your value and your worth. Second, you focus entirely on yourself. You pour all that energy, all that emotions, all that attention you were giving them back to you. You start walking out, not to make them jealous, but because you deserve to feel strong. You start building your career, not to prove them wrong, but because you have goals that matter. You start spending time with people who actually appreciates you, not to replace them, but because you realize your time is valuable. Third, you become genuinely happy, not fake happy, not posting happy, actual happy. You rediscover who you are without them. You remember what you love. You reconnect with your passion, your dream, your purpose. And this is the best part that breaks people. When they realize you are not just okay without them, you are better, you are lighter, you are freer, you are thriving in ways you could not when they were in your life. Here is what nobody tells you about making people regret losing you. The people who regret it the most are the one who come back and find you completely different. Not bitter, not angry, just different. Evolved. Upgraded. They come back expecting the same person who used to care when they thought, who used to need their validation, who used to make them a priority. And instead, they find someone who doesn't need them anymore. Someone who is built a life they are proud of. Someone who is genuinely moved on. And that's when it hits them. That's when they realize what they lost. They lost a gem. Not because you told them, not because you showed them, but because they can feel it. They can feel that shift in your energy. They can sense that you are no longer accessible to them in the way you used to be. And here is nothing they can do about it because you didn't leave the door open. You didn't leave your door open. You didn't leave your room for negotiation. You just move forward. Let me tell you something that changed my entire perspective on this. You don't make people regret losing you by becoming successful. You make them regret losing you by becoming unavailable. Because success is external. Other people can see it, measure it, and compare it. But unavailability, that's internal. That's your power, your energy, your attention. And when someone who used to have access to all of that suddenly doesn't, when they realize they can't just come back whenever they want, when they understand that you have genuinely closed that chapter, that's what creates real regret. Here is what this actually looks like in practice. When they text you after weeks or months of silence, you don't respond immediately. Not because you are playing games, but because you are genuinely busy living your life. And when you do respond, it's polite. It should be kind. But it's distant. There is no warmth, no familiarity, no opening for them to slide back in. When you run into them somewhere, you are friendly but brief. You are not cold. You are not rude. You are just not interested. You have moved on and it shows in every interaction. When mutual friends mention them, you don't react. You don't question. You don't share updates. You don't even seem particularly interested. Not because you are trying to seem unbothered, but because you genuinely are. You are just someone you used to know, someone who is no longer relevant to your present or your future. And here's the beautiful part. While they are sitting there regretting, while they are wondering about you, while they are realizing what they lost, you are not giving, you are not even thinking about them. You are focused on your goals, your growth, your future. You are building relationships with people who values you. You are creating a life that doesn't have spaces for people who could not appreciate you when they had you. Let me break down what actually makes someone regret losing you. It's not your success. Although that helps, it's not your appearance. Although taking care of yourself matters. It's your energy. It's the fact that you are no longer available to them emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It's the realization that they had something real, something valuable, something irrepressible, and they threw it away. And now it's gone. Not because you are punishing them, but because you have genuinely moved forward. Here is what you need to understand. Some people won't regret losing you, and that's okay. You are perfect actually, because those people were never meant to be in your life in long term. They served their purpose, taught you what you needed to learn, and they are gone. And you don't need their regret to validate your worth. You don't need their realization to feel powerful. You are powerful. You are powerful regardless of whether they are figured out what they lost. But for the people who do not regret it, for the people who do come back, for the people who do finally realize your value. That's what you do. And this is what you should do. You appreciate the closure that their regret brings, and then you keep moving forward, because the version of you that they lost is gone. You have evolved, you have grown, you have become someone who doesn't accept people who could not see their worth the first time. You have become someone who knows the real love, the real friendship, real connections. Doesn't require confidence and convincing. So, here is how you actually live this. You stop checking on them. You stop wondering if they regret it. You stop hoping they will realize what they lost. You just focus on becoming the best version of yourself. You invest in your growth, your happiness, your peace. You build a life so full, so rich, so meaningful that there is no room for people who didn't appreciate you. And in doing that, in genuinely moving on, in actually letting go, you become the one who got away. You become the one they regret losing. Not because you tried to make them regret it, but because you made yourself impossible to replace. The most powerful thing you can do after someone leaves your life is to prove that your life goes on beautifully without them. Not to them, but to yourself. Because when you know your worth, when you understand your value, when you realize that anyone who walks away from you is actually doing you a favor, you stop needing their regrets. You stop needing their validation. You stop needing anything from them at all. And that's when you win. Not because they came back, not because they apologized, not because they finally saw what they lost. You win because you moved on. You win because you are happy. Because you build a life that doesn't require them to be in it. That's the ultimate power move. That's when you make people regret losing you without saying anything. You just become someone they could never get back. Not because you won't take them back, but because you have genuinely moved beyond them. So stop trying to make them regret. Stop posting for their attention. Stop performing for their reaction. Just leave. Just grow. Just become better. And watch how their regrets become irrelevant because you are too busy being amazing to even notice. That's it guys for today. If this video hits different, if you needed to hear this right now, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you are not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel because we are diving deep into the topics like this every single week. Topics that actually matters. Topics that actually helps you level up. Drop a comment down below and let me know what's one thing you are letting go of. What's one person whose opinion you are done caring with. I read every single comments and I love hearing from you guys. And hey, if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who is still trying to prove their worth to people who doesn't deserve them, share this video with them. Sometimes we all need that a little reminder that our absence is the loudest statement we can make. Thanks guys for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Stay powerful, stay unbothered, and remember the best revenge is no revenge. It's just becoming someone they could never deserve. Till then, Bye bye. I love you all.